Hello, this is Short Me Tina from shortmetina.com. I want to start off by saying Happy New Year. Today is, I believe, Tuesday, January 23rd, 2018. And I want to say this might be my first video of the new year. So I wanted to do this video, well, for a couple of reasons. One, there's been some panic on, various messaging boards. I've gotten folks who have reached out to me to ask me whether or not I'm still bullish on this particular trade, notably or due to the sell-off that occurred today, right? I'm not quite sure what facilitated the sell-off. I want to say a well-known newsletter, the Street Sweeper, the Sweeper, I'm not sure. Something of that sort. What happened here? Hold on a second. All right, I'm back. So an article was written just indicating that, the stock has ran up too fast, too quickly. They were very bearish. And because of this, we saw a massive selling. We went from a high of about 444 today to a low of 370. And you have to understand, if you believe in a particular trade, if you believe in a company, and you think that it's a good long-term hold, then you need to take advantage of dips like today, right? Like I wanted personally to add at 370 because if you look at the longer term chart, it was a good point of support and it actually held. The stock bounced off at 370 and it closed at 376, which is a decent bounce. At any rate, so I'm still bullish on this stock. Why? Very, very simple. If you've been following me for a while, you know my principles. In a bull market, you want to be long. For folks that are shorting out there, like the street sweepers. I don't know the name of the newsletter, believe it or not. I don't even really care to know. But for folks that are shorting, they made what, 10-15% on this short. It's ridiculous. And this is why there's some folks that I just cannot take seriously out there in the investment and trading space, because it just does not make sense. We are in a bull market and you want to be long in a bull market. If you're like scraping by to make 5, 10, 15% on trades when normally you can make upwards of 20-30%, and in our case, with a high of 444, premium members were actually up about 120%. So what odds do you want? Taking your time to short a penny stock to gain 10%, or do you want to hold it for a few weeks, gain 100 or 200%? I know which one, I know which fence I want to bat for. At any rate, so what I was looking at when I was trading this, I trade very simple patterns. So in this case, it was the rounding bottom here, right? We peaked in October. We peaked at a high of about 350. We shed some. We based here consolidation, and then we came back up, right? Rounding bottom. It's not like that V-shaped trading action. We had a rounding bottom, which in my opinion is very bullish. So we got into the trade. Let me draw a line. We got into this trade, believe it or not, I want to say sometime in November, right? Maybe a couple weeks ago, when the stock was bottoming here. I gave an alert buy zone of, I think, around $2 to $2.50, somewhere around there, giving it a bit of room and cushion. And when I made the alert, believe it or not, the stock actually dipped to 195. So folks who were able to get in at 195, they're sitting on some pretty substantial gains right now. So we bottomed out right here and we made this massive run. So topping out once again at 444, folks are actually up 120% on this trade. So a little pullback here. And where did we pull back? We pulled back more or less right around the area of breakouts, right? We tried to penetrate 350 here. We couldn't do it. We tried it here. Breach, we pulled back. We tried it here. We tried it for these past few days, trying to breach this mark right here, right? Breach that line, that 350 line, and we couldn't do it. In the past few days, we were able to do it. So am I still, from a technical perspective, bullish on ticker symbol XXII? You're damn right I am, right? Because we're still sitting above breakout point. So if you're looking to get into this trade, I want to say actually, let me not say where you should get into this trade. I want to say that for me to remain bullish on this particular trade in this stock, we need to remain above 350. You know, if we dip to like 340, 335, that's fine, but we definitely have to hang out in the mid 3 area. Okay, and where do I see this stock going? Believe it or not, if we can base, and we have to zoom out. Actually, I have to go out a little bit more. Let me zoom out to the 10-year. Gives me a longer picture. Right. Okay. See, and look at this. Big, massive rounding bottom on a multi-year chart. Extremely bullish, right? So here's what we're looking at again. See, it's respecting the lines perfectly. It's respecting resistance perfectly. So we broke out of this massive rounding bottom that was in the making for about 4 years, right? Starting June of 2014, we're in 2018, so this 4-year massive rounding bottom. Amazing. Very little overhead. Very little overhead. So right now, what, in my opinion, the stock should do, and if it wants to take a couple of weeks to a couple of months for it to do this, I'm perfectly fine with that. But again, I want it to ideally trade above, trade closer to that 4 range. But even if we dip a little bit and we kind of hang out in this area, that'll be fine. Because again, we're digesting this massive move that occurred in the past couple of weeks. Digestion is good, right? Stocks do not move up in a straight line. We should know this by now. You definitely have your subsequent pullbacks. So for me, what I'm looking for is for the stock to hang out either in this area for a while, a couple of days, a couple of weeks, or hang out in this area, which is like the high 3s, low 4s. So anywhere from, so let me just not make this too confusing. So this pullback I think was very healthy, right? I still, in my opinion, the best trade for this is on the long side, not on the short side, especially in a bull market, right? The stock is up something like 100+% in a couple of weeks. Why would you be on the short side? The momentum clearly is on the long side, right? So if the stock can consolidate between, again, mid 3s to low 4s, and kind of like build up another base or another range for the next couple of days or the next couple of weeks, I am pretty sure we're going to go on to test this high here, which is around $6 or $7, giving you, right, another 50% upside from here. Okay? And again, very predictable pattern. We've been playing and doing well with this pattern for a very long time. The rounding bottom, the consolidation, the cup and handle. It was evident in, for example, Glue Mobile, right? Similar setup, right? We had the rounding bottom, and then we had the cup, right? Cup and handle, right? We had a rounding bottom, then we had some consolidation here. We actually got into this trade around, I want to say 245, and then we rode it to like 490, 100% gain. We got in around here, we rode it to about here. Similar pattern, rounding bottom, consolidation, marked move up. What else? Penn National Gaming, not quite a rounding bottom, not the way it was evident in Glue and in Glue and ticker symbol XXII, but you see it here, right? Rounding bottom, right? We actually got into this trade somewhere around, I want to say around the formation of the handle. So around here somewhere, right? Rounding bottom, getting in the consolidation. We got in around 17, somewhere around here. Shoots up, right? We're looking at about another 100%. So look at these patterns, memorize them, right? XXII, show you once again. Huge rounding bottom. We got in around the consolidation area, marked move up. Glue, again, rounding bottom, consolidation, marked move up, another 100%. So that's our second 100%, and Penn is about to be our third 100% gain, right? Rounding bottom, getting around the consolidation, marked move up. What else? I mean, we've had some other winners. Let's see. Ticker symbol WERN. Not quite a rounding bottom. Similar. See? Rounding bottom, getting around the consolidation, marked move up. We got in around the consolidation at 33. Stock is sitting at 42, right? That's a gain of about 10, 15. Actually, no, that's more than that. Maybe a gain of about 30%. And let's see one more. Ticker symbol GLW. See, look at this pattern. Very bullish pattern. All right, so there's no okay, so there's no real rounding bottom in this one. This is more so like a V shape, but you know what? Kind of sort of like a rounding bottom here, right? Get into it around the consolidation mode. The consolidation phase was around here, marked move up. So we got into this trade around 29. We're sitting at about 35. So pay attention to those rounding bottoms. So I'm still extremely bullish on ticker symbol XXII. So again, to recap, this video is getting a little bit lengthy. To recap, if you can trade between 350 to 4, bounce around there for a couple of days to a couple of weeks, let it digest this really massive move that we've had here, this 100% or 120% upside move, let it digest there. And once it digests, I'm pretty sure we're going to go on to test this high here of, what's the high here? 636. At that point, momentum will be on our side, and I think 8 is around the corner, right? So for now, I still think it's a great trade. Momentum is still there. It is on the long side. If you want to short it to your own peril. I wouldn't be short. I wouldn't be caught short here in this bull market. The money's is made on the long side. So that's it. Thanks for listening. Head on over to my website, shortmetina.com. Sign up, become a member, and just get on the train, right? Maybe we'll find ourselves another 100% winner, and I think we have a few that's actually 100% in the making. Again, this is Short Me Tina from shortmetina.com. Thank you for listening, and as always, thank you for the support.